in my circle? Who the one who be the snakes? Who gon' fold up under pressure? Who gon' understand the stakes? Who gon' wait to get their food to try to take from off my plate? Who the love? Who gon' understand I'm hurt? Who gon' love me unconditionally and try and make it work? Who gon' party once I'm gone and shed a tear once I'm in dirt? I ain't asking for too much, I'm trying to understand my worth.
Welcome to the next episode of Give Me My Crown podcast.
Give Me My Crown podcast.
And we're back at y'all with another episode of the Give Me My Crown podcast.
Yes, sir.
So, as we know, our last episode, we kind of did an interview and kind of into my backstory, kind of how I got to where I am now. Just kind of, my life story about school, jobs, career, things like that. So now it's only right that we go into the backstory of Keith. So, as y'all know, we've been knowing each other since 4 years old.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna kind of go starting because we was in school together all the way up through high school. So kind of start from high school and kind of just give the people a rundown of your journey from high school pretty much to where you are now.
Okay, man, it's a whole lot. We're gonna start it off. So we're gonna start high school year. A lot of people don't know this. I actually got accepted into Duke. I killed my SATs, got into Duke. But one of the issues was like scholarships. So I didn't get the scholarships I thought I was gonna get. So I didn't go to Duke. So paying for Duke would have been hard for my family. So that didn't happen. So contemplated going to Liberty, got accepted, full ride, and didn't decide not to go to Liberty. So I decided to go to another college. Was going well for about a year and a half, and then I wrote a paper, killed the paper. Anybody know me? Like in school, I prided myself on writing, so I killed the paper. And then they were like, pretty much that I plagiarized the paper, and I was like, what? So after that, man, I realized college wasn't for me. I was like, I can't do college. And this is before they had ways like of AI to see if you plagiarized.
So it was before everything. It was before all this Chat GPT and everything.
Yep, before all of that, man.
Okay, was it before? Because you remember back in the day, we used to have to turn our papers into Turnitin.com. It was before that? Okay.
Yeah. So, I had the big discrepancy with the school, and I was like, you know what? I'm out. And so I ended up getting a regular job working, at the time I'm probably 19, 20. So I'm working at different places. I get a job, steady job, and at the same time, I'm like, my mind is interested in investing, interested in like growing myself. So I started looking at the stock market. Don't really know, playing around, not really knowing what I'm doing. So I started talking to older gentlemen, older females that knew a little bit about stock market. Um, and around about the time, this is like early 2000s. So, we graduated 2007. So
Yeah.
it's like 2008, 2009. And I got introduced to crypto. And so I'm listening to people talk about crypto at the time. I'm like, yeah, this is a scam. I'm not diving in this. No, it was actually a guy. He might have been like 55 at the time. He was like, hey man, you might want to look into crypto. And I'm like, nah, no, I'm not doing that. Like at the time, Bitcoin is probably $100. So it's like early. Imagine if we had invested then. But we're gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
And so I'm working, I'm looking at my job, maxing out my 401k, stuff like that. First job closes down. So I'm like contemplating going back to school. I actually, fun fact, you probably never heard this. I contemplated going to the military.
Okay. What branch?
What branch? Man, I was thinking about the Army because everybody said it was easy.
Okay.
So then, I went and talked to the recruiter. Of course, he was like, hey, man, you're going to lose a lot of weight to go into the Army. So I started working out, but then I was like, you know what? This ain't for me either. I ain't got the discipline to listen to people yell at me. So I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this. So as you can see, it's a lot of me trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So at the time, I meet my wife, soon to be wife, girlfriend, and her dad tells me, he's like, yo, I love you as a son, but I need you to have a job. And at that time, I really won't, I was doing security. You put me on the security, so thank you on. And I was just chilling, with no really big deal, just loving it. And I ended up getting hired on the Procter and Gamble, and that was 14 years ago, man, crazy. being there, first thing I noticed was a guy, he worked on the packing line right beside me, and every day he used to come in and be like, "Hey man, you know how much money I got in my retirement?" I'm like, "Nah." He was like, $2 million, $2 million. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So he was like, man, listen, man, you young, max out your 401k. And he was like, by the time you get my age, you'll be a millionaire. So I'm like, okay, and I hear this all the time. People like, me working at P&G, you'll be a millionaire when you retire. But being how me and you are, like, we don't want to retire at 55. We want to retire as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Uh, so I started looking at dabbling in the stock a little bit. Had a couple of big hits on certain stuff, but nothing was consistent. It was all just gambling. So this is probably up until 30, like just playing around with stock market, playing around with different things, investing in crypto a little bit early,
Yeah.
just taking tanks a little bit, like XRP. Like I'm still holding XRP to this day. Like everybody's been saying XRP to the moon, but it still ain't moon yet.
Yeah.
Invested in Bitcoin a little bit early. Then made some investments with that money, and then lost some of it as well. So people do your research on how not to lose crypto. But yeah,
Copy and
I don't
paste.
copy and paste. So I almost committed suicide. I'm not gonna lie over how much I lost. But yeah, it was a trying time in my life. But really, my whole life has been trial and error until I'll say I just turned 35 until 33, pretty much.
Okay.
33 became a focus of wanting to learn and dive into stuff like I would say like even hanging around you more, it became like you laser focused. You commit to certain stuff. Like you named all the stuff you've done. It was like, you know what? Let me become focused and do the research on my own. So like mine has been a lot of trial and error.
Okay. When you first started off at P&G, did you start off, were you entry level or did you start off in a management position?
Entry level, man, making 12.60 an hour.
Okay.
Entry level. So I can go through my P&G progression. So I started off as a what they call a plant technician. I worked my way up to what they call a shift leader, and I was a
Okay.
shift leader on one of the what they call it high priority lines. And
Yeah.
then um, probably probably 3 years after, like I was to my own horn. I was great as a shift leader, so I wanted to do something different. They were bringing in a new line. I'm like, look, let me get the opportunity. So funny story. So like I'm in the meeting one day. God trained. If he sees this, he's gonna laugh at this. I trained him so well. They were like, Keith, you've done such a great job at training him. We're gonna send him to Sweden to learn to bring in the new equipment. I was like,
That,
yo, that's not a reward to me, you
yeah.
know. So after that, man, situation happened in my life, triggered my MS to come on. So like I'm I'm out of work for like 3-4 months with MS, and when I go back to work, I'm on the second wave going to a new line. They were bringing in high priority line. First of us, the fastest running toothpaste line in North America. So I do that for a while, and then I decide when to progress. I'm always looking. I'm a forward thinker, so I'm always looking like, okay, what can better me as a person outside of work?
Mhm.
A position kept opening in the engineering department, and I go work in engineering for like 3 years. Loved it, man. And if I can, I'm gonna go back to engineering. Just being honest. I do that for about 3 years, and I just got promoted into management. I just started it this month in February. Well, it's March
Okay.
now, but
So when you went out with MS, I know you said you was out 3 or 4 months. Did P&G essentially hold your position and hold where you say? Did they hold a spot so if you wouldn't have left and would have progressed to a higher level, did they still honor that?
oh yeah, yeah, it definitely did. I will say this, man. PNG is a place. It's what you make it. A lot of resources, like a lot of ways to progress your personal life as well that people don't utilize. But I mean, like you get like options like stock. You can buy stock in the company yourself. Like
Okay.
that's one of the things the guy taught me early. So he was like, "Hey man, every check take $100 out and just buy stock." And
We want to take a break for a second, just to let y'all know. As you see, Keith got on the hoodie, and I have had on the hoodies in past videos, but we do have our hoodies on sale on our Etsy, which you see is posted in the link. Just click on the link, and it'll take you straight to our website. So purchase it. We got hoodie, we got shirts coming soon. We got joggers if y'all want it. What else we got, Keith?
Man, we coming with some new designs. Like it ain't gonna be the whole logo. We're gonna have, just the crown and the mic. So yeah, we got a lot coming.
All right, yeah, if y'all want it, definitely, like I said, click the link, make a purchase. Thank you. So, Keith, tell us about how has MS changed? Because I know it has made a big impact on your life. So, kind of go through kind of how it's changed your life. I know you said it changed your life. You was out of work for a while. So, kind of tell us how else it changed your life besides work.
Man, got me shaking right now to even think about it. So MS has changed my life in a lot of ways, man. So I'm gonna give you. We talking about since high school. I'm about to give you the MS journey too. So
Yeah.
even as far as work, I said, it affected me as far as work. I had to take some time out of work. But the major things, man, like before MS, confidence level was high. Anxiety was very low. I was very full of myself, man. So this gonna go a lot of ways. Like it was all me, no God. I've been in church my whole life, but everything was me, me, me. I did this, I did that. So with MS, everything stopped. I remember my first MS attack. I woke up in the morning, my legs were numb and tingling, and my couldn't see out of my right eye. It was really, really blurry. And being we come from, man, we press, we push through anything. So I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm good. So I get up, try to go to work. End up hitting a pole in Arby's. Like the pole you go through the drive through. So I
Yeah.
end up hitting that pole, man. I realized like, I can't drive on the highway, and this just happened. So
Yeah.
I end up going to urgent care, and I go there, and they're like, don't go to work this weekend, and you're going to set your appointment for eye doctor. So this is the craziest thing. I go in there, they do my left eye first, and amazing, perfect. He was like, you can see perfect out your left eye. So get to my right eye, and you like E N. It
Yeah.
was just terrible, man. And I could hear people running in the eye doctor's office around me, but I'm like, ain't no big deal. So he tells me, he's like, look, I don't know what's going on, but you got a neurological issue. He was like, I can tell you this because I have a sister disease to whatever you probably have. And so I'm like, okay, cool. It's still ain't set in that my life is about to change. So
Yeah.
um go through that, man, and some more into that, but I'll skip that part. I remember calling my pastor that day and my mom, and my pastor is my uncle, so I ended up going. We went to the church, man, and I remember sitting at the wall crying, and the only thing I was asking is like saying like, how am I going to take care of my family with a chronic illness? At
Yeah.
the time, I didn't know it's MS though. I have no clue it's MS. So we go through taking the test, spinal tap, and you can learn everything about you through a spinal tap. So get the spinal tap, and it confirms I have MS. Go through MRIs, and it's like 47 lesions on my brain. I'm like, yo, they put the
Dang.
MRI up, and it looks like a Dalmatian on my brain. I'm like, this
Wow.
is. So after that, they put me on medication. I'm taking this pill a day. I won't say the medication's name. I remember laying in the bed, like just staring at the ceiling and just shaking and having suicidal thoughts, man. And that's when my life went upside down. Like I've never dealt with suicide, and a lot of people in my family will never know this until now. But I like literally went through suicidal thoughts. And some of my friend group don't even know this. Like through that process, trying to commit suicide as well. Like so, thank God I'm still here. Didn't kill myself.
Yeah.
I'll tell people this: if you try to commit suicide and you don't die, I still feel like I feel the effects of all the stuff I tried to take to kill myself. So, not making light of it, but yeah. So like now I'm good. I switched medications, became a lot better, a lot more stable. Um, so I switched medications from a pill a day. I went to an IV, infusion.
Okay.
I was taking it once every 6 weeks. Medication was like $36,000. Thank God for insurance.
Wow.
Thank God for insurance and a good job. And then I am now on. I'll say the name of it, Key Sympta. That's it's like an EpiPen shot. Once a month, and thank God it's working perfect.
You take
Like
that yourself, or you got to go in for a shot every month?
myself, man, just
Okay.
quick injection for a minute, and then life keeps going. That's one reason I was happy about it instead of me shut my life down for a whole day, like with the infusion. The
Yeah.
medication worked great, but I would literally have to go to the center, sit in the chair for like 4 hours out of my day. It just interrupted your whole life.
Now, does I know every medication has side effects. Do you see any major side effects from the medicine you're taking now?
I do not, man. I
Okay.
will say, like, I think I got my life back. Like if we take a trip, I can literally pack it up with me and go on a trip. But before
Okay.
I would have to find an infusion center to actually take the medication. You have to plan more. So with this, you don't have to plan as much.
So can you take it like say we're going on a trip, but that week you're supposed to take your infusion. Would you just take it before you leave, or would you take it, or would you just take the shot with you?
So with the infusion, I would have to plan like I would work it like I need to come. Let's say we were leaving on Thursday. I need to come Monday, take my infusion, or if
Okay.
I can't, I need to find somewhere where we're going that has an infusion center. But with this shot, I can literally, let's say we going to Vegas, whatever. I can get it sent to the hotel in Vegas and just take it there,
Okay.
or I can take it before. Either way it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, so since you've been on the medications, have you had any issues with MS?
Not really, man. So like a lot of people know that stress triggers a lot of MS. So like one of the things is trying to, decrease my stress level, which is not always easy. But and then anxiety. Anxiety, I didn't have anxiety issues before my first MS attack. So that
Okay.
started, yeah.
All right. So it's not so now you're at a point where you can even though you may not want to, but you can essentially live with it.
Oh yeah, yes, sir. Right now I can say like I'm one of the people, man, life comes, life goes. So you gotta roll
Yeah.
with the punches. And I feel like me having MS is to show other people that you can still live your life. Like my doctor told me, he was like, man, listen, I mean, if you want to, I can put you on disability. I'm like, nah, like I'm not doing that. So like I just turned 35. Now I'm not
Yeah.
sure we talked about in the prior podcast. When I first went to Duke, he basically told me like, listen, if you don't get treatment, you probably will end up in a wheelchair by the time you're 35. So like 35 was a milestone for me in my life and my
Yeah.
family's life because with 35, no wheelchair. And like me, my next part of MS is to lose the weight. I dropped 54 pounds since October, so I'm still working.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you made it through MS. You got a good paying job now. What's next?
What's next, man? So you immediate right now, and we just talked about this probably the other day, is to find one of these cryptos that's got like 4 5 zeros and
Yes.
get to a cent, and we gonna get this money. That's the immediate impact. But what's next, man? It's like I don't know, man. Like I've been saying this in my life. Like for me, I feel like I've been holding my family hostage. Like as far as like with the knowledge that's here, and
Hmm.
then it's time to put the work with it, man. Like as far as like we learn a lot, we know a lot. Like we talked about this as well. Next step is me getting my real estate license. Not so much to sell real estate, but just to when the opportunity is there for me to take the opportunity to sell a property or to put somebody else in a position like me, I'll do referrals all day.
Yeah,
Um,
because I mean, it's money in that just in itself.
Yep. So it's like looking at ways to make easy incomes. So it's like to start in one state and work my way to having 3 or 4 states under my belt as far as having my real estate license. And also buy some properties, man. I've been going to auctions.
Yeah.
So like, it's branching out now and it's really putting my money where my mouth is, just keep
Okay.
working, keep grinding. But also we want the easy, we want to work with this instead of working with these. Yeah.
That's true. That's how it got to be. We got to learn to make money when we sleep. All right. So like we said, we need to learn to make money while we sleep. Other than making money, I know you said you've been through a lot. You learn to put God first in your life. You learn to start taking a lot of that stress off of yourself, and I would imagine that has changed a lot for you.
Yeah, it has, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, my anxiety levels still be high these days, some days. But it's being honest with myself and realizing I got family, which I call my core. They
Okay.
really help me keep God first in my life. Like they be like, "Hey, man, ain't you as God?" Like y'all put God in perspective. So like, me and you talked about it, like having devotion in the
Yeah.
morning. and having devotion at nighttime. So like my day starts at 4:30 in the morning, but I may be laying in bed at 3:45, 4 o'clock, and I just give God that time before I even start doing anything. And then like throughout the day, like it's a constant like prayer going on a little bit. I may be laughing, joking, but at the end of the day, I realize that we gotta give him his time to be successful. Because at the end of the day, we just put the work in, he do the rest. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's like even like my hoodie says,
Yep.
God got me. So
Yes.
I just think a lot of times we just sit back and it's hard sometimes not to stress over certain stuff, but I think it's important that we don't stress because by not stressing, you're essentially saying, I believe God can handle whatever I'm going through.
Yes.
And like you said, by you putting them first, you're working yourself and getting through your MS.
Yeah, man. Not just the MS, man. It's just all the mental stress of
Yeah,
life. And you
yeah,
realize,
life in general.
man, we ain't special. It's just that God gave us abilities to make us special. So like
Yeah,
we gotta use that, like the hoodie, man. God got me. So, you know, try to remember that he got me,
yeah,
And I will say this, man, our group of friends, man, like at the end of the day, we help each other, we push each other, we grow each other. We gotta get our boy Paul on because Paul
yeah,
definitely pushes us in different ways. Because it ain't a conversation we talking to Paul when he ain't talking about God and he ain't saying, hey, yo, what we doing to get this money next? Like,
yeah,
so we all on the same wavelength. So we got to build a team, and the team keeps everybody pushing.
yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah,
So I think we gave the people a lot. Obviously, as we go on, we'll through these podcasts, we'll start diving deep into more stuff, far as some of our crypto stuff, real estate stuff, just in depth of more stuff. But I think we gave the people a lot. Um, is there anything else we leaving out?
nah, man, I hate being vulnerable. Vulnerable. I'm sorry, I said it like wrong like 3 times, but I hate being it. So this has been, very transparent moment for me in my life. So yeah,
All
and
right.
Mama, I love you. My mama has been my rock, and my pops has been my rock. So and my family. So yeah,
That's good. So as we always say before we get off these podcasts, um, this is more than a podcast. We handing out crowns.
hand them out.
Hand them out.
Who the lover, who the hate? Who the realest in my circle? Who the one who be the snakes? Who gon' fold up under pressure? Who gon' understand the stakes? Who gon' wait to get they food to try to take from off my plate? Who the love? Who gon' understand I'm hurt? Who gon' love me unconditionally and try and make it work? Who gon' party once I'm gone and shed a tear once I'm in dirt? I ain't asking for too much, I'm trying to understand my worth.